Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am Mayana, and today I am giving you my honest, earnest, I hope that's the correct way to use that word, thoughts on Penelope and Colin's story, which is, what is this called? Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. And before we even get into this, no, I have not read the first two books. I got these books in the box set, and I was really interested in jumping into Penelope and Colin's story straight away. So I did skip Antony's and Daphne's story because I really want to know what was about to go down with Lady Whistledown, because I know y'all saw that Netflix and Shondaland has teased the next season of Bridgerton, and I'm super excited. So excited that I went to the Bridgerton event in Atlanta, and I will plug the photos in somewhere, you know, in this video. But I was very interested in reading the story because I wanted to see how Penelope was going to treat Colin Bridgerton next season, because he obviously deserves it, because the way he does her in season 1 and 2 is just a no-go. And I think that, well, I thought that Penelope was just going to drag him through the mud, but she hasn't. Because y'all, I am 10 chapters into this book, and my my hopes for Penelope and the way that she treats Colin have not gone the route that I wanted it to go. And before we even get into things, y'all, I had to list all the things that I'm referring to so I don't get sidetracked in this video. So give me like 1 second. Also, I know when I have these moments, I need to start like annotating them. I'm like a fan of annotating, but I'm also an annotating newbie, so I haven't started yet. But let's see. Let's get into the reasons why, at least in chapter 1 through 10, the things that have stuck out to me. Let's see. So, Bridgerton thoughts. Thought number 1. I feel like Colin really shouldn't be judging Penelope based on her looks, when in the book, they mainly make him come off as a himbo, meaning every room that he goes into when he's having these conversations with his mom and Bridgerton family at their new house, or with Antony, or in Penelope's waiting room, or whatever room they're referring to, they always bring him food because he acts like he can't breathe or think without a plate of food offered to him. Or when he's stressed, there's offering him lemonade or cheese and meat spreads and charcuterie boards. And I'm like, everybody talks down on Penelope because she's a thicker woman, but they don't, you know, do the same to Colin, when in, I think, chapter 10, they describe him as portly. And when I looked up portly, I'm like, what is that, and why are they calling him portly? It describes a man as stout and fat. And I'm like, why are y'all so down on these women in this time, when outside of traveling, Colin really isn't up to par either? So that was like my first no. Well, not really, since that came up in chapter 10. My first no was the fact that with Colin learning Penelope that she's actually smart and he actually thinks she's pretty, it's the actually that irritates me. Like when he says that he never thought of Penelope as beautiful in any stretch of the word, but you find yourself attracted to her. I'm like, you've called her ugly just to, you know, throw something out there to try to like not make you fall deeply in love with her. You were surprised that she had intelligence when it comes to reading your journal. Well, let's just be honest. Penelope's pen game is stronger than anybody in this whole little series. Not little series. Bridgerton is a good series, but still. Penelope's pen game is strong. So how you gonna talk about intelligence, even though we know that he doesn't know her true alter ego or alter identity or whatever when it comes to Lady Whistledown? But it's like, you don't really respect her as much as you think you do, and you're trying to replace the pity that you felt for her in the previous books with respect, and it's just like not going right. It's not coming off right at all. Let's see what else popped up for me. Penelope compromised in every relationship she has ever been in, and I mean in like romantically and friendship wise. I mean, she's compromised her intelligence. She always makes herself seem dumber or less intelligent in certain rooms and certain conversations. And I know she has to do that in the sense of keeping up Lady Whistledown, and you don't want people to think you're more intelligent than what you are, or that you're not listening or paying attention to these important or gossipy conversations that are going on around you. But I'm like, I don't see the reason why she had to simplify her thought process around Eloise and other women like Lady Danbury or Lady Bridgerton or anything like that. I'm like, I would think that all the women in the balls or dances that she attended understood what it was like to be smarter than what the men around you perceive to be, and they wouldn't want her to dumb it down. That's just my perception of it. But I'm like, girl, all these people being surprised about your intelligence in this book is very, and you're 8 and 20, or is it 20 and 8? 8 and 20. Girl, ain't no more sugarcoating yourself for these people, spinster or not. But again, I'm like, a whole new time, well, a old time and an old day. Maybe she just couldn't do it, but still, I'm like, girl, stop compromising for these men, especially Colin. Colin gave me the ick, and he came off as a himbo, and he craved ass kissing level flattery. Like when he wanted Penelope to go on, when he was talking about how great his words are, or how great his thought process is in his journal. Like, you were just upset with her, but you want her to keep talking as long as it benefits you. And she's talking about how talented you are and how you shouldn't hide your journal from the world, and how you're a man and you can change things. I just felt like Colin complained majority of the book. He really did. And I feel like he shouldn't have gotten mad at Penelope when she says, you're a man, all the problems that you're facing right now you can change. You can. Like, why are you getting mad? Why are you getting mad? It's the truth. It was a fact. Like, you take all this money and go traveling when you can take all this money and go further your education in other schools or something, and study literature, study writing, study creative writing if they had it at the time. All this, you had time and money to do what you wanted to do, but it's like you didn't go for it because you want to sit and sulk and concern yourself about what Antony's doing and what Benedict's doing and what the Ton thinks of you, when you out here on Cyprus or Cyprus, wherever you at, on the beach sipping lemonade with your feet in the water, and I get a break from the gossip and the stress. You could have been doing something while you're on the beach. You could have been doing something when you was traveling. You could have been building a name for yourself outside of the Ton. I mean, people know you to travel in the Ton, but outside the Ton, who are you other than a tourist? Point exactly. So let's see. I think Lady Danbury knew who Lady Whistledown was, like, from the beginning. And I'm only on chapter 10, but I really do think Lady Danbury has Danbury. Damn, Daniel. No, I'm kidding. I think Lady Danbury has Danbury. I think she, and y'all know who the she I'm talking about, has always known who Lady Whistledown is. But I think out of the kindness of her heart and always giving the last laugh and everything, I think she's kept it to herself just to see how it was going to play out when Penelope was ready to put down her pen, in the sense, retiring. And I've also figured out what a rake is, and I'm going to start using that to talk about men. I'm like, okay, he's a rake. I'm going to use that till I can't use it no more. Also, Penelope, and yes, I have my notes on my phone. Penelope unintentionally closed herself off to other suitors because she always compared them to Colin, and if they didn't add up to Colin's standards, she didn't want them. Like, for example, when they were talking about, when the individual, let me pull his name up while I'm talking about individual, because I want to say the right individual. When were you at? Earl of Macclesfield. Do not know his name. But yeah, when the Earl of Macclesfield was getting ready to present Crescenda so she can make her announcement or whatever, she talked about how attractive he was and how he used to be a rake, but now he's a devoted, what are you? Now he is a rather scholarly sort, and he is devoted to his family, which I don't know if that was a marital family or, he's like Antony pre-marriage and was just devoted to making sure his family was straight. But she couldn't, oh, come on, what is it? She said almost as handsome as Colin. Again, I have not read book 1 through 2, but I feel like even if Penelope had reasonable suitors or people that were attractive, men that were attractive that wanted to entertain the thought of being with her, she would turn them down because Colin. I'm like, girl, Colin had entertained your whole cousin. Well, at least on the show. I don't know if that was actually a thing in the book version of Bridgerton, the series. But it's like, even if somebody found themselves to meet your standards or go further beyond Colin's, you're always going to close yourself off because you have made it so that you're waiting for Colin. Even though he has verbally said in front of his peers and family members, the men in his family, that he would never, ever marry you. Baby, I would make him eat them words. I would season them up real right and make him eat them words. But I really don't think she's going to do this because it is a book. But the last thought is I feel like Penelope messed herself up because just like Colin, they are learning themselves beyond friendship and acquaintances in this book. Like, for example, she never thought that Colin could get as angry as he did when she caught him reading his journal. And she's like, I never thought he can get that angry or whatever. I'm like, girl, you don't know him like that. You know service level Colin. You know my best friend's brother Colin. You don't know him as a man, even though you're getting to know him. And I feel like all the stuff that she has learned, she should stop trying to get to know him because Colin is a crybaby. I feel like the C in Colin stands for crybaby. Maybe I'll have a change of heart in the second half of the book. And also, since again my last chapter I've read is chapter 10, Cressida is off her rocker, having her claim to fame, saying that she is Lady Whistledown. And I hope that Penelope cracks and be like, I'm Lady Whistledown. How you gonna take my crown like that? I built this brick by brick. But I know she's not gonna do that. But anyways, those are my thoughts on the first half of Bridgerton, and tomorrow I will be posting my thoughts on the rest of the book and if it met my little hopes and dreams for Penelope to take Colin through the mud. I really don't think it will, but I can hope. But you want to know something? Even if Penelope doesn't take Colin through the mud in this here book, I know for a fact that Shonda is gonna do what needs to be done in season 3, and I want Colin to feel like K. Michelle, you gon' cry. I want him to cry. I want him to cry for Miss Penelope Featherton. Sure do. Anyways, those are my thoughts. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have read this book and you have your own thoughts that you feel like contradict with mine, put them in the comments. We can talk about it. We can have a little powwow, a little chat. But anyways, if you like this video, subscribe so you can see more like it, because I will be posting my book thoughts on chapters 11 through whatever the last chapter of this book series is. Bye.